missile will be launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. It'll take about 10 months for it to reach its asteroid target and then hopefully push it out of the way. Just a reminder, this is not a real emergency, only a test. Peter King, CBS News.
The statue of Thomas Jefferson in the New York City Council chamber has been removed. It was donated to the city in 1834, commissioned by a U.S. Navy Commodore to honor Jefferson's commitment to religious freedom, but some council members had objected to its presence because of Jefferson's history as a slave owner. Matt Piper, CBS News.
WPTV's First Alert Weather on WPSL is brought to you by Seacoast Air Conditioning. Now with a look at our forecast, here's meteorologist Katya Hall.
Tomorrow, morning temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, afternoon highs in the low 70s, partly sunny skies and some fast-moving showers drifting in from offshore. For your Thanksgiving, a bit warmer in the morning with temperatures down to the low 60s, highs in the mid 70s, mainly dry with low humidity and a slim chance for an isolated shower. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall for WPSL 1590, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
At Seacoast Air Conditioning, they believe in 3 basic fundamentals: answer the phone, show up on time, and fix the problem right the first time. Seacoast Air, family owned and operated since 1982, waiting to answer your call 24/7.
Comfort crisis, don't roast, call Seacoast.
How would you like to win a Lexus UX200 with taxes paid? No car payment. That sounds terrific. Go to givecarebag.com. All proceeds go to help our local nonprofit CareBag Incorporated, where they provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community in need. We also have 2 additional prizes. Go to givecarebag.com to find out how you could win a beautiful 2021 Lexus UX200. No lease, taxes paid. Drawing December 17th, 2021.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we are the ones that do encourage you to like and share them on social media and, of course, with all of your friends, because CareBag Incorporated now presents Careology with your host, Roxy Brown.
Good evening, Cliff. How are you doing?
Working on it.
Working on it?
Little by little, every day.
Well, if anyone is driving home, welcome back to Careology, where this is the science of caring. This is a weekly show that promotes the science of caring, sharing knowledge with our community and educating our community on what's available to them and for them. And if you are tuning in with us regularly, thank you for tuning back. And if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. My name is Roxy Brown, and I am the CEO and founder of CareBag Incorporated, a nonprofit here on the Treasure Coast. And what we do is very simple. We provide access to proper hygiene for the wellness of our community, to our homeless and our families in need. That includes ages 0 to 100 and plus. So this is what I tell people. If you go in your bathroom, anything you see many people can't afford. As simple as a toothpaste, a toothbrush, that is what we provide. We have been going through a pandemic over the last 2 years, basically, and we're still in it. And just imagine those people who didn't have just the tools they needed to stay clean. So we are very privileged, and we're honored that we're here in our community, that we can go ahead and help those in need. So we are happy about that. And if you want to learn more about us, you can just go to givecarebag.com. givecarebag.com and find out all about us. And while you're on our page, you are going to see our 2021 Lexus UX200, and that is a drawing. Thank you, Treasure Coast Lexus, right here in Fort Pierce. They're right by Midway and US 1. You can go there and ask to see that beautiful car. You can get all the information there. It is done by an independent company, and me and Cliff are hoping somebody on the Treasure Coast will win, because we have people buying tickets from all over the nation, and it will be so great, because whoever wins, that means me and you are going to make an agreement that you can pick me up at least once or twice a month. And I think that would be nice, don't you, Chief?
I do too.
You do?
Yes,
okay,
I do.
I'm going to let everyone know who that voice is in a minute. But I just wanted to let you know what's going on with CareBag. We were in Deerfield Beach with the BSO Sheriff Department doing showers on Saturday, and we had such a great time. They had a Thanksgiving give back, and CareBag drove down there, and the amount of people that were there, we just had a great time. You can go to our Facebook page and see the pictures that we posted. So many people were blessed just by a hot shower. BSO had some awesome Nike gear that they were giving out to the guys, long sleeve shirts. They were just looking nice. They kept my towels, but that's okay. You know, we'll always get towels here on the Treasure Coast. But it was such an awesome event that we can go ahead and bless the men and women who are homeless that needed that, and they really enjoyed it. And our book, our Take a Book, Give a Book is coming up in January. So I'm asking anyone, I'm going to talk to Cliff on the swap shop. I need a bookcase. I need a short, small bookcase for my babies. Not a big bookcase that kids 6 and under can go to and look at books.
I'll bet we can find one.
I know we can find one.
Because there's always somebody calling in with furniture. There's always somebody calling in with a
care
yard
back.
sale.
I am not going to buy a bookshelf.
Right,
I'm not
you
going to
won't
do
need
it.
to.
No.
We'll get somebody to donate one.
And
for
we're
you.
looking for books for children 6 and under in reasonable good condition, new or used, because of a lot of our moms. I talked to one mom one day, and I said, what book does your baby like? And they were like, Ms. Roxy, do you really think I'm going to buy a book? Listen, reading is fundamental. When your child goes to kindergarten, when your child goes to first grade, it is important they know about reading. They can sit down, they can listen. They have an attention span more than just a screen, a blue screen looking at them. It is very, very important for our children to be read to and to know what a book is, to know what pages are. So that is one of my goals that I am really pushing for January. I talked to the moms, and some of them are so ecstatic about that. So if anyone has any books, I'm starting to buy some books for these little kids. I'm really upset that I cannot get any Dr. Seuss. So if anyone has Dr. Seuss, I would love it, because you can't find any more books. I grew up on Dr. Seuss. Green Eggs and Ham. Come on. I don't eat ham, but that's one of the best books I remember. And The Grinch That Stole Christmas. So we want to give our kids the opportunity in our community to have a book. There's no charge for them. They take a book, they bring it back, and if the child loves the book, listen, they can keep it, because books, I love reading, and that's what we want our children to do.
If you can inspire a child to read,
the world
that's
opens
awesome.
up.
Oh, yeah.
The world opens up, and that's what we want to do. It's unfortunate that mothers cannot afford to get a book, or they can't afford. Gas is so expensive, they're not going to go to the library. We're in a different age where COVID is here, so it's harder for people to get around. So if we can do what we can do as a community, you raise a child, it's a village that raises a child. So let's get together. I'm imploring all of you. You can go to our website, givecarebag.com, and you can find everything, the way to get in touch with me, and we'll be happy to pick up the book. You can come to our office, or we can have someone pick it out, or even mail it to us. All our information is there. That is important. So I'm just I'm trying to remember everything, because I was rushing here and I didn't write anything down today. It was one of those days. I told Cliff, I just hardly made it here. You and my guests would have had to do the show.
Well, time sometimes steps aside for us.
It's the dark. It's when they change the clock back. That's what got me. I'm driving, and all of a sudden, boom, it's dark. And I'm like, what happened? So, but I'm grateful. And we're just so happy with our guests that we have in here. Everyone knows this is our law enforcement month. And we had Crime Stoppers the first week. Then we had our Grateful Tuesday with Pastor Haynes. I'm getting a lot of feedback, and everyone is really loving it, because good, healthy relationships coming from a pastor, that just means so much. And then last week we had my father from a different mother and father, Chief John Bolduc. That's my good friend, and I'm so honored to have him here. But this evening now, we have Fort Pierce in the house. So welcome.
Thank you for the welcome.
You're very welcome. So it is Chief Deputy Norris.
Deputy Chief.
Deputy Chief. See, I practiced that all the way here. Deputy Chief. Uh-oh. Okay, what is the difference with Deputy Chief? We're going to learn something today.
Well, secondary, I'm the Chief of the Police, of course, is in charge of
right.
the city, and I'm second in command to the Chief.
So like how she's not here, it's you.
That's
All
it,
right,
Roxy.
the buck stops with you today. Well, tell us a little bit about you, because this is my first time. I know the chief, so I've never met you. So this is going to be good, because usually the guest that sits here, I know them. I have a rapport with them. We kick it, go for coffee. But this is our first time, so we're going to really be good friends today. Tell us a little bit about you so we all could learn.
Well, again, I'm the Deputy Chief of Fort Pierce Police Department. I have a total of 34 years in law enforcement. I spent 28 years in Tampa.
Okay.
So I've been doing this quite some time. Have my master's degree.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of anything else interesting. I am a proud member of the Mega Sci-Fi fraternity.
Okay.
And
Should I do
I love
this
God.
or should I? Which one should I do? Which way?
Put your hands up.
Put my hands
There
up.
you go.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Okay. Go ahead. For those who can't see us, it's really funny. For those that can't see us, we're having a good time. Go ahead, Chief.
I'm glad to be here. One of the things you said that struck me was it takes a village to raise a child, and I think throughout society, even in law enforcement in the community, we need to take time to really dissect what that really means. I think because it's been said so many times, people see
don't
it as a
understand
cliche.
it. Yeah.
But it really does. It takes a village to raise
yeah.
a child, and if we can see ourselves as a village, then that means we're all invested when it comes to crime, when it comes to taking care of those who can't take care of themselves, or people in predicaments or situations. If we really get invested, then we will reap the rewards and the returns from being invested in that as the village. But I love when people say that. But I just
has
want
to be something behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just can't be. You got to be a village. We all can be a village. Sometimes, just to let you know, I am not politically correct on this show, because should we let him know now, Cliff?
Might as well. Whose house is this?
It's Roxy's house.
Okay.
So I stay within my limit, but I say it. We just say things and we don't stand behind it. Everyone wants to help the community. Everyone wants to feed the homeless. Yes, Cliff, I'm gonna go there again today. Everyone wants to feed the homeless. Look at his eyes. He's like, uh-oh. Everyone wants to, the Thanksgiving, Christmas comes, and everyone wants to get out and give tents and gives clothes. But let us have a meeting of the commissioners and of the city or of the county, and let's decide to vote to have a homeless shelter in our area, and everyone is going to vote they don't want it in their backyard. I went there, Cliff. So, I love the holidays. I love when I see people doing things. But if you're going to do something, do it 100% and do it 365 days of the year. Don't come to me and call me. I want to do something for the homeless. But when I say we need a homeless shelter, I don't want it in my backyard. You're being a hypocrite. That's basically it to me.
Well, animal control picks up dogs and cats, and they put them into a shelter.
20 plus. We got 20
animals.
plus. I love everyone. Whoever knows me knows I love dogs. Everyone knows I love my Prince Blue, a red-nosed pit bull. That is my baby. Everyone knows that. That is my dog. He has a cover for my truck. He has his own handmade bed. That is my baby. But we have individuals, mothers, fathers, men and women, that are sleeping in the woods right now in St. Lucie County, all along US 1 and other places, and they don't have a shelter because no one wants it. But we have over 20 plus shelters here on the just in St. Lucie County, on the Treasure Coast. Okay. I've deviated from law enforcement, so just excuse me.
Okay.
But, if you're going to put your heart into something, don't put it in just for the season. These individuals are not hungry just on Christmas and Thanksgiving. They are hungry every single day from January to December, from January 1st to December 31st. They're hungry. We don't need a shelter for them when a hurricane comes by. That's another thing that pokes the bear with me. Let's open up a shelter, but do we have homeless? We don't have it here on the Treasure Coast. We only have it when there's bad weather or it gets cold. Come on, people. Let's have a heart. Our country's going down into basically the pits of hell. Let's open up our hearts and let's open up our minds. And if we have a vote on something, vote on it because it's the right thing to do. These are our neighbors without walls. That's what my friend told me, and we've been sticking with that. These are our neighbors without walls. These individuals used to barbecue with, used to carpool with, go to school with. Something happened in their life, that changed the aspects of it, and now they lost everything. Some of them don't have family. Some of them were foster children. So many things happened that put them in this situation where they are homeless. So, like we said, we're going to go back to what Tiffany Chief said. We have to be more as a village. You know, looking after our children, looking after our community, it takes us together, not just 1 or 2 times or 3 times in the year, not on Easter, not on Thanksgiving, not on Christmas, every day. Okay, so that just poked the bear, so I had to let it out. Go ahead and tell us about your service again, Deputy Chief.
Well, I mean, I like the theme that you're on now. I mean,
we can stay on that.
Yes,
let's stay on that.
Let's do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, it's extremely important. One of the things that we need to realize is when we deprive a child of the basic necessities and we write that child off, sometimes we don't know who we're writing off.
That's
the next
right.
president of the United States, the person who's going to find the cure for cancer.
Yep.
And that blessing that child will bring to this
That's
earth,
it.
we may be depriving that child of that forethought going forward. So I think it's important what you say. So I'm sitting back as a
Thank you. Well, someone asked me, Roxy, someone came and said, you don't got a lot of pictures. You don't take pictures. Like I have, like when we go out, we might take with mask on now. I love taking pictures now because everyone has a mask on. So I'm going to repeat this again for those who didn't hear me. The reason CareBag really does not put pictures on our social media, you said it. You do not know where this mother, father, or this child is going to be 2 years, 3 years from now. Putting their picture up, yes, lets you know what we do, might make you write a bigger check. But if you know what CareBag does, then you have to know that what we do is what we do. Who we're helping is who we're helping. This is what I tell people. If you want to know who we're helping, volunteer. Come and volunteer. I think putting someone's picture up. Some people want their picture taken, and we don't mind. But putting someone's picture up, you don't know where that person is going to be. You don't know who that person is going to be. That is their story to tell. It is not my story. I don't like to take pictures. I don't like my picture up anywhere. I do it because I have no choice. But the clientele that I'm serving, how dare me put their picture up in the time of their most desperate need? I don't need to, I think, what's the best way to say this? I don't want to capitalize on someone else's demise. They're in a situation where they're in because of something has happened. And they're going to get out of that situation. That's where we're giving them the blocks, the stepping stones, the resources to get out of that situation. And when you put something on social media, you can delete it, but it stays there. Somebody has captured it, shared it, and it doesn't go away.
You're practicing good fiduciary tactics.
It's called dignity.
That way, well, like a doctor, they're not allowed to talk about your medical condition with others. Real estate agents, they have fiduciary relationships with their clients. And, well, you should too, because you're not in this to embarrass anybody.
Well, it's not only that. I believe it's giving somebody dignity. When you come to me for something because you're in a need and I plaster you all over the place, what good does that do you when you now get up that situation? You might not want somebody to know. Not everybody wants their story to be read or to be told. So I think that's something we do. We do show pictures of children to an extent with permission of their parents when they want it. Because I have people that come in my office, oh, Rox, they'll see my phone. Oh, you can take a picture behind. I'm like, okay, click. You know, some people like it. They don't mind. But I think we need to be careful of that because you said it so well. You don't know who that next person is going to be. A child reading a book, you don't know where it's going to end up. You don't know what's going to inspire them to be. You know, in my house, we had to read.
Pretty much the same.
We had to read.
House, right?
My mom said, here's a book. Boom, here you go. One time she was going to university and she gave me a book of what she was doing cadavers. I read it. I loved it. I fell in love with science.
Wow.
That's simple. You see what I'm saying? I was like, ooh, she's dissecting it was a cat. Wow, woo. Go and watch it. Hey, medical family. Those are that interest me, Cliff. Don't look at me.
Oh yeah.
Mechanics is not my thing, but you don't know if we need good mechanics. You know, we need good plumbers. If my faucet blows, I don't know what to do. If my electricity goes, I don't know what to do. We need good technical trades. We need to inspire our children, and I think you said it the best. I loved what you said. You don't know who you're going to inspire. Oh, I'm on a whirlwind today. You poked the bear. You poked the bear, man. But what are some things you when we talked on the phone early today, you said the Fort Pierce Police is doing something. What are you doing in the community for children?
Well, let me point this out first of all. Men and women in the Fort Pierce Police Department are doing a wonderful job. And oddly enough, I just recently read a report where one of my officers pulled a family over. They were a homeless family. They were living in their car. And, just reading the report, was touching, and how my officers responded. They took the family, looked for somewhere for them to stay. They provided food. They made contacts to follow up the following day to see if they can get them shelter. And this is what we were talking about in the meeting of the village concept. And as far as law enforcement is concerned, a lot of people think that's all we do is go out and arrest people.
No.
But one of the biggest things that we take pride in is truly helping our community. One of the things that the chief of police, Diane Hobley Burney, has brought to the forefront is giving back to the community. Having programs like the Courageous Kids, where we take kids into the park, we play games, we teach different lessons, we provide meals, and you know what? That's extremely important at times when we're providing these gifts, these gifts to these kids, and rebuilding our relationships with the kids of the community and the community in itself at a whole. When we first started this particular program, it was really interesting. One of the first days I watched as the children were really standoffish with the police. Because that wall was up.
Exactly. What they hear from home, what they hear from grandmother.
The stereotypings. Exactly. And it was beautiful to see slowly how those walls came down. Now when we go out there, we're getting jumped on, we're getting hugs, we're getting kisses. And then we noticed the parents started to come out. The wall was up. But now we understand that in the wall, we watched as the wall decayed. Down. And all this is, it's a cycle of civilization. It all goes hand in hand with doing what you're doing, doing what we're doing. We're proud, and one of the things that Chief wanted to target when we first got here was the violent crime, right? In particular, homicides. Fort Pierce was leading by per capita. It was ranked pretty high. Wow. But since then, we've had dramatic changes in that in itself. I mean, we've unfortunately, we've had 4 this year, which is extremely low number, and we're watching our crime rate slowly dissipate. And again, it's all inclusive of not just good enforcement. It's having that relationship with the community, and building that partnership, and that's the key to law enforcement. We're not out there as enforcers. We are our community partner. And the community also must participate in this relationship.
It's a give and take.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a give and take. You call me ma'am.
Roxy, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. That's all right.
And I'm probably much older than you anyway, so.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. I'm not even gonna argue.
I'm not ashamed. I'll be 57 Saturday. Okay. So
you're
I'm
older
good
than
with
me.
it.
You're
I'm good with it.
Well, happy birthday when it comes.
Thank you.
We would sing, but we don't have time. We would sing, we don't have time. We're gonna go to break, but I do have a question that I want to ask you because you touched on crime. I'm part of the Lincoln Park initiative with Kevin Singletary, and their days and meetings is when Care Bag's open, but I get the email. And I know Care Bag's going to be participating going into the schools because they said there is a lot of gang violence in schools and here in Fort Pierce. I'd like you to think and touch on that when we come back, right after these messages we hear from our wonderful sponsors. My name is Roxy, and I am here with the Deputy Chief of Fort Pierce Police Department. Me, him, and Cliff will be right back after this message. Stay tuned, please. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. How would you like to win a Lexus UX 200 with taxes paid? No car payment. That sounds terrific. Go to givecarebag.com. All proceeds go to help our local nonprofit CareBag Incorporated, where they provide access to proper hygiene to those in our community in need. We also have 2 additional prizes. Go to givecarebag.com to find out how you could win a beautiful 2021 Lexus UX 200. No lease, taxes paid. Drawing December 17th, 2021.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And now, back to the art, the science of caring. Careology with Roxy.
Thank you, Cliff. Thank you, and welcome back. If you are on the road driving and heading home, we want you to be safe. We want nothing to happen to you. We need you to see the Big Turkey Day for those that enjoy turkey. I want to give a big shout out to our listeners in New York. Hi, Jocelyn. And I want to go ahead and just say hello. I can't remember everybody that told me to say hello, but we say hello and thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. And I just had one of my special volunteers say that she is offering some turkey. So if anyone is listening out there and you are in need, you can go ahead and text me to 772-222-7399, and the first 2 that I receive a text from, we will go ahead and we will share that with you. Allison, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We have 2 turkeys, and we appreciate you, Allison. This is what it means, Deputy Chief, by doing a village. This is a village. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You can look like spotted as polka dots or the color of the rainbow. We are a village, and it's about community and taking care of everyone. So again, hello, and to Miss June, thank you, and to the girls at Hawk, we want to say thank you.
St. Lucie Jewelry,
St. Lucie
yes.
Jewelry, I love them. I got a message, and I will return it to him tomorrow. So we love Hawk over here. They're big supporters of CareBag and WPSL, so we thank you so much. But let us get back to the question at hand. How does the gang violence in the schools look right now?
Well, first of all, let me just say this much. Again, I don't like Fort Pierce being targeted, saying that Fort Pierce is the only schools.
Oh, no, there's a lot
issues.
of gang violence everywhere,
Trust me,
but we're just talking to Fort Pierce.
Right,
yeah.
It's all over.
We're going to put a disclaimer
throw that caveat out there.
Yeah,
exactly. Let me throw that caveat out there.
I know, Cliff, I know Fort Pierce is very touchy when we got to be very careful.
Well, you got to remember there are some good folks, a lot of good folks.
Oh,
here.
yeah, they are. There are a lot of good folks. What do you mean? A lot of good folks. Yeah, it's just that I know
I have no trouble walking down the street.
The schools in Port St. Lucie have a different approach to it. But because I'm dealing with, he's getting really touchy right now. So just put my hand on him.
I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
I just want to, because I'm going to be coming into the schools, CareBag, not myself. We're going to be coming into the schools, and I want to know how to be prepared. So this is what I said. This is what CareBag said, not me. This is what CareBag said. If there are problems with children, if I'm wrong, please correct me. You have the right to correct me. If there are problems with children in school, and not just children in gangs, just children, period. Children, to me, I'm a New Yorker, so I've seen gangs all my life. So children, how can I say this properly? Children go towards things and get with certain groups when they're missing things from home. Am I correct?
That's
okay.
That's
if you're
good way of
missing
saying
something from home, you're going to look for it somewhere else. But just imagine if needing a shower makes you have to go to someone's house because you don't have soap or toothpaste or what you need. So when we're providing this to the schools we have guidance counselors that are showing us certain children that are in need. So if these children now have this, you're not being bullied. You're not feeling you have to make a spectacle of yourself because you want to protect yourself because you don't have from home. But we're just not giving to the child. The child has to go home, so we're giving to the home.
Wow.
That's what we're doing. So the
Wow.
child is not going to get just a little toothbrush, a little toothpaste. We have packs of 5 and 10. We have 2, 3, 4 rolls of toilet paper. So when you give to a child, you have to remember that child lives in a home. So
like
the
that
home
concept.
needs.
I love that. I love that.
So if you are needing and if you know that need, you have our number. Please reach out.
I sure will.
You see that? Look at that. I made him smile again. So let's talk about things that are happening in the schools. We know that like I said, we have the sheriff department that we're coming on next week, and we talked to the Port St. Lucie, which we asked the same question. So we're asking you the same question. We've noticed a shift in violence, especially with the pandemic. People have been locked at home, and now they're coming back out. So just like people sitting at home for a year and not knowing how to drive and get in their car, they don't know how to drive. So kids that have been locked at home with their parents, some situations might have been positive, some might be negative. So now they bring this out. How are we dealing with that as a community? See how I shifted the question?
I like that.
You like
I
that?
like that.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I want to keep you happy.
Okay. Well, we have school resource officers that are
Right.
assigned to the schools.
Mm-hmm.
We communicate with the school resource officers. We volunteer. We do a lot of volunteer work in the schools. We try to identify when we see problems and possible gang situations or identify suspected gang members.
Okay.
And we try to intervene. And we try to get those kids to step away from that world and to try to give them a bit of truth of what they're really looking forward to versus going to school, getting an education, making something out of themselves, and being a positive rather than a negative.
Right. I talked with Monica with the Roundtable Ignite Alliance, and I know they have a lot of positive male role models that go into the school, and that's something I love about that, because I think we need that. I am not sure if we talked about it yet on this show. Cliff will remind me, but having male models, a lot of homes are missing male role models.
Yes, ma'am.
Personally, I grew up in a home with my mother and father until he passed. So I've seen that. Me and my brother have seen that role model. I didn't realize how important it was until you get older. I did
That's
not
so
realize
true.
it. It is so true to have a male in your child's life, a mother and a father. A mother brings something to a child that a father cannot bring. And a father brings something that a mother will never be able to bring, whether it is a boy or whether it is a girl. And that's something I have some dads that come into our office for diapers, but when the moms come in, that's what I talk to them about. I get the rolling of the eyes, and I'm like, listen, when that child reaches a certain age and you start having problems, the first thing you're going to say, go to your father. Find your father. That's the first thing you're going to say. Instead of find your father or go to your father, why don't you have that man in your life? You were happy when you were together. Not because you split, that doesn't mean he does not have that responsibility. More than a paycheck, more than child support. That child needs more than that. So, and I think that's my take on it. When a child does not have that completeness, I think they lash out. They see other children with the dad. They see other children with that.
Roxy, you're hitting all the points.
Thank you.
Really are.
So I didn't need you today, did I? Yes, I
you
did.
were.
Yes, I did.
And I hate to equate this account to the animal kingdom, but basically, a lot of people get offended. But if you look at it in any society or any form of humanistic form or animal form, when a male role model or that male is missing.
It crumbles.
Exactly.
I watched the History Channel. I am a Discovery and National Geographic and History girl.
Did you see the one on the elephants?
Oh, yeah.
Where the elephants, the young bull elephants.
The bull, oh.
The older male elephants were being slaughtered for their tusk and their ivory and so forth. Well, they found out that these rogue young male, when they reached, say, the teenage years of a bull elephant, they were
crazy.
Going out of control. They were killing people. They're going to villages. And it took the scientists a year to find out what's going on.
They did not have that model to look after.
Exactly. The male bull kept them in check, taught them when they were releasing testosterone, how to release those moments of anger and angst. And that's when they pushed the trees over. That's how you get rid of it. And there was no one there to teach them that. And I said sometimes we can borrow from the animal kingdom.
Even from the lion.
How important, exactly, how important
the pride.
it is for that male role model to be in that child's life. I can't say that. I'm glad you brought it up.
It's a fact. Well, my mom has been drilling that into my head for years. Listen to your dad, listen to your dad, listen to your father. Wait until your dad comes home. Because when she said that, immediately I just got to attention. Immediately. It didn't matter wait until your dad comes home. You just go, me and my brother talked about it just at attention. We'll sit at, my dad's been going on, he'll be gone next year 10 years. And I think about certain things that I do and I'm like, oh God, I wish my dad was here. I'd have a question because he'd have the answer. And you don't realize, as old as I am, you don't realize how much I still miss him because he had such an impact in my life, what I've done, where I've become. I hope to God my mom's not listening today because I'm going to be in trouble. But he had such an impact on my life with everything that I have done, and the questions and even with my brother, and even when you go through, I was watching my little man with his little man because I went to visit them. And I was just watching, when it was time for him to take his nap, he ran to daddy. When it was time to eat, he ran to daddy. When he wanted certain things, he ran to mom. So he has already picked out who he wants to go to for what, because he needs that. He knows who supplies what he needs, his comfort level. And that's what a child needs.
You know how some kids will play a parent against the other parent.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
And
I tried it. I get in trouble.
I'd go to my dad and he'd say, ask your mother. And I'd go to mom and she'd say, ask your dad.
Oh, no.
And it only took a couple times before I figured it out.
I figured it out, and when I used to do that, and when they go upstairs and talk, the next day I'll hear my full legal name come out. And I'll be like, when you hear that, you're done. But that's the thing of having the parents there. It's so hard. I watch these moms come in, and it's so hard when they come in because they're doing it by themselves. Yeah. And a lot of them are angry. And what happens now, they start talking about their dad. So when that dad might come into that child's life, you're done. You don't want to hear about it. So I think we need to do a class on that. We need to figure out how to teach a lot of these moms. It's not good to badmouth. I never, when I tell people that I never heard my parents argue while they were married 50-something years, I never heard them argue.
Wow.
And my mom says, oh, yeah, we did, but it wasn't for you to hear.
Wow. Wise parents. Wow.
It wasn't for you to hear. We had I don't know if they have a saying now, but when I grew up, children must be seen and not heard. And sometimes my dad and mom used to give me a look, and me and my brother, like the road runner. We'd be gone. We weren't supposed to be around a conversation. You weren't supposed to hear it. I see parents having conversations, and the child is right there putting their 2 cents in. And I'm sitting there like, what? But all of this comes back to what we're saying, how children respond to certain things. If you're giving your child all this personal information, they're going to lash out. And they think that now they can have that conversation with a police officer, with a teacher, with everyone else. You have to have that respect from in the home. Because when you lose it in the home, you lose it everywhere else. Am I on the right path?
Roxy, there you go again.
I'll be your best friend. Watch it out. Chief Boldick, watch out.
The authority, again, the authority. And whether we like it or not, the authority figure in our lives, whether it be our parents.
Yes.
Again, like you just said, it starts at home.
It starts at home.
Respecting, giving that authority figure the lead way to lead you in the right direction.
Right.
A lot of people look at the form of discipline. People look at it as, somebody's getting a spanking. No, discipline means to lead.
Yeah.
It's discipleship. The word, if you go to the root word of discipline, you'd understand.
Oh, you can talk about the Bible here. We talk about Jesus here. Go right ahead.
It's to lead. And that's what Jesus did with his disciples.
Yeah,
he led them.
He led them.
So we need to go back again to the root word and understand what the word means, because a lot of parents frown or push away from discipline. And you hear a lot of times, if I spank my child, I'm going to go to jail.
No, you're not.
No.
One day, I'm just
abuse your child.
You're going to go to jail. So I'm just going to put Roxy out here on the platform. One day, my mom was going to beat me. I did something. Whatever I did, I deserved it. And I used to hear on the train coming from Brooklyn all over, I used to hear, oh, your mama hit you. You can call 911. I was like, ooh, let me try that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
You're bringing back memories.
That's all right. I'm just going to let everybody know I come from a Caribbean household. So my mom said it was time to spank me. And I said, I can call the police. And she dialed 911.
My mother did the same thing. She said, "Oh, you gonna call DCF?
No.
Let me give
See,
you
I
the
didn't
phone."
even say. I didn't even say DC. I didn't even know DCF.
Yeah.
They told me 911.
Why?
I said, I'm gonna call the police if you hear me. She said, really? I'll call it for you. And she dialed 911, and the police came. And she beat me while the police was there. And she said, what you gonna tell them? And the police asked her if she was done. And have a good night, ma'am. And he said, you need me again? Call me.
Well, that
I didn't
blew
know
your
what
plan,
to do.
didn't it?
Oh, it ruined. Let me tell you something. I wanted to go back to school and beat the mess out of that person that told me, oh you can go down 911. No, you can't. But see, now things have kind of changed. So parents are afraid. The child knows it, and they do everything. But growing up in my day, I learned my lesson big time. So all of you know a little something about Roxy now. Don't test my mother. And I never tried it again. But discipline got you to where it is. It's called respect. So what are some of the other things that the Fort Pierce Police does in our community? We need to know.
Again, we're doing we just finished with Trunk or Treat, where we did the holiday celebration.
How did that go?
It went great.
Yeah.
Well, police officers decorated their vehicles.
Ooh.
And we did it in front of the police department, of course, because of the COVID situation.
Right.
And we had the families drive up, and we passed out candy, and it's a big hit.
It was a big.
Yeah, it was a real big hit.
That's free candy. We might have to do that next year.
I try to stay away from the sugar. I really try.
Yeah.
Every once in a great while, though, I'll go ahead and do something just to prove to it I'm not afraid of
There
it.
are only two candies I really like is Snickers and Skittles. That's it.
Well,
I'm
from
not.
my own heart.
I'm not
I like
a. I'm
to
not a
stick to
big
dark
chocolate.
My favorite.
I like
Yeah.
dark chocolate.
I love a Snicker. On
I
Baby
love
Ruth.
Snickers,
If
though.
I can find
Little
Baby
sugar,
Ruth,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big chocolate fan, but those are the two I like. So what else do we do?
We're going to have on Friday, December 3rd, we're doing Shop with the Cop.
Oh, December 3rd.
Yes, where
Oh.
we take selected families, less fortunate families. We identify the teenagers, and we really look for the teenagers. And because a lot of times we forget about the older
teenagers,
kids,
yeah.
And we do shop. We go shop. We take them to Walmart. Walmart,
Okay.
one of our benefactors. We go and we shop with them for Christmas.
Okay.
And then we're doing the Sights and Sound Parade, of course, on December 5th. And then we're going to do Santa Cop, which is held at the main station of the police department, and that's going to be December 17th. We have pre-selected families, the less fortunate families, come in and we provide Christmas gifts for their children.
I like that. So guess what? CareBag is doing. We have the Port St. Lucie Police Department December 3rd coming to pack 109 bags for 109 children that the schools have gone ahead and shown us that they need. So the Port St. Lucie Police Department will be volunteering and packing those bags for us. And everyone knows I am going to put them to work. And then we have a Secret Santa that's going to be coming. We pick some kids out. So that's why I said if anyone has any toys, ages 0 to 6, that's all we're doing because we deal with a lot of babies. And people say, well, why can't they shop? If they can't afford a pack of diapers for $45, they can't afford gifts. And the deputy chief would recognize, I'm going to say something. Parents, when they are desperate, do stupid things. Am I correct?
They
When
can, yes,
they
ma'am.
can. And when they see other mothers and other families and their kids can't get, they do stupid things. So to avoid parents from doing stupid things, sometimes you got to help them along the way. So we've asked them to do a wish list, and we're just doing, like I said, gifts from ages 0, meaning newborn, because a mother came in and needing a teething ring, and I was out of teething rings. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm out of teething rings, and her baby's teething. So I said, put a rag in the freezer, but I'm going to get her a teething ring. So from 0 to age 6, we're looking for toys, and we have a Secret Santa coming. They'll get cookies. They'll get their gift with their name on it. They have to sign up. That's our CareBag clients. So we'll be doing that when you're doing your Shop-a-Cop.
Okay.
So, see, community-based. I
There you
like
go.
that. And we're going to, for our book drive, we're going to be having firemen. Well, we want firemen, policemen coming to read a book because we're going to do that once a month for our children. So if anyone, just going to put it out there, if anyone from the Fort Pierce Police Department would like to
More than
come and
happy.
read in their
I think we'll have
uniform,
some officers that are more than happy.
because kids need, I think young kids need to see that. With everything we have going on and the negativity, they need to see that, and mothers need to see that. I think that would be good.
You're defining the very village that you spoke of earlier in the
You
show.
got, that's what we do. This is CareBag. That's what we do. Anything else you like to tell us that we're doing, that Fort Pierce is doing?
Again, like I said, we're in the community right now. We're concentrating on a lot of our holiday events and taking care of the community. one other thing I like to say is, people, it's the holiday season.
Oh,
Please
yes.
be wise. Do
Go
not
ahead.
leave your purse sitting on the driver's seat and going shopping or leaving valuable gifts where they're seen, because people will become tempted.
And
to
the
jump into your
garbage. Talk
car.
about the garbage again. When
sorry.
people, we have to tell. After Christmas, don't put your big boxes.
Yes,
Go
that's
ahead.
a telltale sign.
What's in your house?
Television
Brand new
box, a
flat
big screen
screen
TV.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
All your electronics, your
There
brand new
you
electronic
go.
gifts. Yes.
Or that's it. Or the jewelry box containers and the bags. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
We had Chief Boulder, but this is the thing. Repetition makes people remember. So I know we have 10 minutes? Yeah, around 10 minutes. So one thing the chief talked about, and I would like to see if you guys do the same thing in Fort Pierce. He talked about if in the emergency, when something happens, you have a fund for your police in case there's any accident or anything it was the 100 Club.
Yes, yeah, we're actually members of the 100.
Oh, you're
Club.
members
both
of the
agencies,
Oh,
yes.
both agencies.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not a separate. You thought I forgot? I don't forget.
No, I couldn't remember.
It just hit me, the 100 Club, because what happened is not only do we want the good information, we want others to know, because we talked about defunding the police on here. So my listeners know that defunding the police is hogwash. We lose services. According to one of my good deputies in BSO, what they told me, call 911 and see how long they take to get there. Call an ambulance when you're having a heart attack and see if anyone is able to come. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you lose good services. So with this 100 Club, when the men in blue and now the firemen, I was told, if something happens, we are able to give back to their families. So you guys know that you can call the Fort Pierce Police Department, find out the information that if you want to go ahead and join, because this helps. When families give up a lot. And just saying that, I want to say our hearts and prayers go out to the families in Wisconsin on that tragedy that happened. That is so sad. I watched it and tears came to my eyes, and these were young people celebrating in schools. We want people to be vigilant. We want people to be careful. So our condolences goes out to the families that have been that are feeling this tragedy, and the young people that are in the hospital that are healing. That is just so sad. We don't know the situation. We just know it is just deplorable. Security will be tightened up when we have our parade this year, won't it?
Yes, it will be.
Oh, yeah.
As usual. And you got to remember, we've been out with COVID.
Right.
So we're expecting a larger crowd, large number of
people are just happy now to come out.
Yes.
People are really happy to come out, but we want you to be safe.
But because there are those out there that would wish to spoil things for everybody.
Oh, yes.
And they I guess it's how they get their attention to make
Well, the Fort Pierce Police Department is going to be watching you. So come out if you want to. We got something for you. Did I say that right? You can't say it.
Yes, Roxy, you did say that.
I did say that right.
You got to give some credit to the family of these officers.
Yes,
they
give up. You don't know they're coming home
today.
That is correct. And I couldn't. I'm going to be on. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. I'll be following my husband around in my vehicle. I couldn't do it. I think my heart just would be at the tip of my tongue, just knowing, is he coming home? Is she coming home? I have a lot of friends that are police officers, and every time I hear something, I'm there texting, I'm there calling. Sometimes they can't answer me, and I'll just blow them up just stalk them until they do, because you want to know they're okay. You know, these are friends, these are husbands, wives, these are mothers. This is somebody's mother and child. This is somebody's dad, somebody's mother. You know, we need to respect that. We really need to respect that. Growing up, I was always taught, police are your friends. Police are your friends. If something's wrong, find a police officer. That is what I grew up knowing, you know, and I grew up in, back then, one of the biggest cities. You know, and that's what we were taught. Police were your friends. You got lost, look for a police officer. That's what we were told. And that's the same thing here. If something is wrong with someone, this is what I say. If someone breaks into your house, you're going to dial 911.
Yes, you are.
You are. I'm going to dial 911. So, but is there anything we're forgetting before the time goes that you wanted to go ahead and share with us? I'm giving you the mic.
Wow. There's so much basically that we can talk about, I like to address, but I'm going to go pinpoint a few things. Like I said, for the holiday season, please be a little vigilant. Make sure you lock your doors. Make sure your vehicle, when you're going shopping, that you put your gifts in the trunk, not visible to someone who's
Don't
looking
put
to prey
it in
upon
the trunk when you go into the store. Put it in the trunk when you leave the store, and then you get in your car and drive away.
And don't forget your keys.
Don't forget your keys.
So just be a little bit more vigilant when you're out
Yeah.
shopping. Look around you, look at your environment, your surroundings, and so forth. Parked and lighted areas. We'll be out there. Plus, most stores they increase their security at this time, but it's not 100%. So you have to help us in that regard. Okay. Again, like I said, I just want to congratulate the men and women of the Fort Pierce Police Department. They've been doing a wonderful job.
Well, we thank you guys. We thank you.
Wonderful job. Again, we've concentrated on some of the things that when we first got here, myself and the chief, the violent crime rate, and we're seeing a great reduction. It's not where we want it to be, of course. We want zero. We want to have zero homicides.
We all do.
We want to have,
yes.
you want to have no crimes. But we live in a society that most likely we will have it. But fortunately, we're out there. We're combating it. Our officers are out there doing the best they can, and we're gonna keep up our effort.
Well, we thank you, and congratulations to the Fort Pierce Police Department. But like the deputy chief said, it takes a village. It takes all of us, so we all got to work together. You know what? This was fun meeting you for the first time. This is fun. You're gonna be my buddy. I got a new buddy on my phone. All right. But thank you, Deputy Chief Norris, for coming out. It was fantastic. It was fun.
I'd just like to say happy Thanksgiving to you all,
Thank
your family,
you very much.
your family,
Thank you.
and you
you as
yourselves,
well.
and to all the listeners out there.
Definitely.
Happy Thanksgiving, and have a safe Thanksgiving.
Safe Thanksgiving. That means stay home, everybody. Don't go out. Well, we are coming up to the end of our show because either I go too slow or I go too fast, and Cliff has to catch up with me.
Well,
so,
I can catch the break that we missed at the very end of the show instead
yeah.
of in the middle. We don't have to break away yet. So
there you go. So we want to say thank you to everyone, and we still have those 2 turkeys. I got 2 calls, so I'll find out what's going on. But we want everyone to have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving this Thursday. Just know it's just not a turkey. You're with your family. We have all battled through the COVID pandemic. So the fact that we can get together as a family this year, we want to be safe, we want to enjoy, we want to be grateful, we want to be thankful, and we want to thank God for our blessings because He has blessed us that we can see another day. So this is Roxy, and I'm wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And thank you, Deputy Chief and Cliff. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you all next week, Tuesday, on Careology. God bless.
all righty, there you have it. Yet another exciting episode of Careology, the science of caring. In fact, I'm wondering if they're not going to open up a school for Careology somewhere. You could become a Careologist like Roxy. That's our show for tonight. Archives of this program are on YouTube. You can binge watch Careology on YouTube at WPSLTV.com.